Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Los Angeles Lakers want to beat the Memphis Grizzlies and show that they can go far this NBA season. The Lakers have a 6-4 record, and winning at home is of great importance in the Western Conference standings. In last week's game in which the Lakers lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant made several outbursts and criticized the Lakers. There were a lot of provocations made by the player. Lakers coach J.J. Redick has several players with health problems and injuries. The following players are already eliminated from today's game against the Memphis Grizzlies: Christian Wood, Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, and there is also the risk of D'Angelo Russell being left out, as he did not train and is dealing with a mysterious illness. Injury is plaguing Lakers players. Injury report: big man is out for a long time. The Los Angeles Lakers have been operating with Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes as their only true centers on the roster, exacerbating the need for Christian Wood to return from injury. Wood underwent knee surgery before the beginning of training camp and initially was given an 8-week timeline for re-evaluation. Wood revealed that his knee had been feeling fine but woke up one day after rehab and experienced swelling, which prompted an MRI and eventually surgery. It's been a tough return-to-play process for Wood, who could really help the Lakers roster right now with his size and outside shooting, but unfortunately, he experienced another setback as he experienced soreness during his ramp-up period and is set to miss more time. Christian was ramping up his return to play, and he developed some soreness. We're gonna scale it back and have an update in about 4 weeks, head coach J.J. Redick said after practice on Tuesday. Redick expanded upon what Wood was able to do before suffering the setback. I don't know the exact point he was at in his return to play. I know that he was working on continued strengthening of his leg and the quad and all that. I believe he had started to do a little light on-court work and developed some soreness, Redick said. Injuries have plagued Los Angeles for years now, and Wood's setback now places even more urgency on the front office to try and find solutions for their thin front court. While Hayes has performed admirably as Davis's backup, it's clear at this point that the purple and gold could use another big man to shore up the team's depth. Wood picked up his player option for the 2024-25 season in hopes of playing a larger role under head coach J.J. Redick, but now will have to wait at least a couple more months until making his debut this season. At that point, though, it's hard to imagine him making much of an impact due to the time off and how long it'll take for him to acclimate back to NBA-level basketball. Making matters worse is there's been no update on Jared Vanderbilt, who is still recovering from off-season surgeries to both his feet. Wood and Vanderbilt have clear paths to minutes when they're healthy, but the team might need to start considering making a deal sooner rather than later to bolster the Lakers' chances. Jackson Hayes, to be re-evaluated in 1 to 2 weeks with left ankle sprain. The Los Angeles Lakers announced that center Jackson Hayes has been diagnosed with a left ankle sprain. An MRI confirmed the injury, which occurred during practice Tuesday. Hayes will be re-evaluated in approximately 1 to 2 weeks. The injury comes as an especially unfortunate time, considering how thin the Lakers are in the front court, with Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt already out. It was recently announced that Wood suffered a setback in his recovery from knee surgery and will miss at least another month. That leaves Anthony Davis as the lone healthy big man on the roster, and even he is dealing with plantar fasciitis and an eye injury, although he is expected to play through it. Until Hayes is able to return, two-way player Christian Koloko will likely get playing time as Davis's primary backup. He got some minutes in the recent loss to the Memphis Grizzlies when Davis was out and looked solid considering it was his first game in almost 2 years after dealing with blood clots. Depending on matchups, Lakers head coach J.J. Redick could opt to play some smaller lineups with LeBron James or Rui Hachimura at center. Regardless, this is not an ideal situation for the Lakers as they look to stack up wins early in the season to compete in a loaded Western Conference. The center position was arguably their biggest need going into the offseason, and they failed to address it, now paying the price early in the regular season. Add feedback. If Hayes is only out for a week or so, then the Lakers should be able to manage, especially if Koloko is able to provide them with rebounding and shot blocking off the bench. Austin Reaves praises Jackson Hayes. When Anthony Davis left the recent game against the Toronto Raptors after being hit in the eye, Jackson Hayes was forced to fill in for him the rest of the way and played exceptionally well. After the performance, Hayes drew praise from teammate Austin Reaves for the job he did. "I thought Jackson was amazing tonight," Reaves said. "From that third quarter on, he probably played one of his best games since he's been here. Active defensively, being a scorer in the pocket, rebounder. I thought he did a lot of really good things. I thought Cam once again stepped up and played really good basketball, but I thought just as a collective group you're never gonna fill AD's shoes or one person because he does so much for us. But if we can collectively do it, we can get it done." Lakers' Anthony Davis plans to play Wednesday despite an eye injury. Davis said he is fine after taking a blow to the eye during Monday's game, according to Dan Woik of the Los Angeles Times. It occurred when he blocked a dunk attempt by Toronto's Jakob Poeltl. A visit to the ophthalmologist went well, although there was still visible redness in the center of his eye after Lakers practice on Tuesday. Davis says he will play Memphis on Wednesday. "Nothing happens afterward," he said in terms of monitoring the eye injury. "I live my days as I would any other day. There's nothing I need to do. The next step is to get some more sleep and prepare for tomorrow." Add feedback. Davis started in MVP style, averaging 31.2 points and 10.4 rebounds. He missed a game last week with a heel injury. Davis suffered a corneal abrasion in March after being poked during a game against Golden State. He wore protective glasses in Tuesday's practice, but plans to take them off for Wednesday's game. Anthony Davis says Lakers must sacrifice to win another championship. Ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers' debut in the NBA Emirates Cup, star big man Anthony Davis spoke candidly on the situation with his teammate, D'Angelo Russell. Russell was recently benched by coach J.J. Redick, but Davis says that sacrifice is a necessary step to achieving their goals. "Everybody has to sacrifice to win the championship," said Davis. "Some more than others, but that's what it takes to win. That's what the good teams do. Look at all the teams who won, they've always sacrificed. It's just about if guys are willing to accept their role and understand that it takes sacrifices to win. And I think everyone on this team is willing to do whatever it takes. Basketball has always been a team sport that requires cooperation between teammates." As Davis explained, the most successful teams typically play for each other rather than themselves, and it allows the team to play off everyone's strengths. The Lakers believe they have the talent to win, and now they just need to put it together when it counts the most. For Davis, his belief is that every player must sacrifice some of their own game in order to make the team stronger and increase the odds of a championship. For years ago, when the Lakers won their last title, every player knew their role and accepted their place in the rotation. Everyone was bought in and willing to give up their own stats to ensure team success. Lately, the Lakers have fallen on tough times, and no situation reflects that more than the one with D'Angelo Russell. The Lakers acquired Russell back in 2023 as part of a three-team deal with the Timberwolves and Jazz. Russell had been with the Lakers before, for his first 2 seasons in the league, but nobody thought he'd return after his trade to the Nets in 2017. Russell donned the Lakers jersey again in 2023, but he's been the odd man out since his arrival. Under new head coach J.J. Redick, Russell had goals to have a career year. Instead, Russell has been moved to the bench as his competitive spirit is called into question. This season, through the first 10 games, Russell is averaging 12.9 points, 5.0 assists, and 2.2 rebounds per game on 40.7% shooting. Of course, Russell isn't the only one who will have to sacrifice. Everyone on the team, including Anthony Davis, will have to adjust to some degree, and others, like Bronny James and Max Christie, will have to be content with not playing at all for now. This season, with so much at stake, the Lakers are completely focused on the title pursuit and they don't want anything getting in the way. At 6-4 right now, the season is off to a promising start, but there's still a long way to go and Davis knows that the job is far from finished. The next test for the Lakers begins on Wednesday for the NBA Emirates Cup. They play the Grizzlies at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Crypto.com Arena before hitting the road for a back-to-back against the Spurs and the Pelicans this weekend.